All right. Now, I realise this is a bit unconventional, but you don't get to choose, and I do for once. So if you don't like it, please send the complaints to the normal department. Firstly, I would like to thank all of you who've come today. Obviously, none of you haven't come today because you're not here, but I'm sure it means a great deal to everybody who knew me that you're there. Obviously, the numbers are going to be enormous. I have no idea, but thank you for those of you who have come today. An even bigger thank you to those of you who have indulged me in my request of wearing one of my t-shirts today. As you all know, my t-shirts were kind of special to me, particularly if they were DIY ones, because nothing's better than a cheap t-shirt. You've been allocated potentially t-shirts which may or may not fit you. What I would really like is, I know they're going to get pushed to the back of the cupboard, but maybe once a year, they'll come around and you might think, I'll put that on today. Obviously, for some more than others of you, that's going to be more of a challenge as the years push on and the pounds put on. But again, that's your cross to bear. I'm sorry for having put that on you. I'd like to say thank you to all of my friends, without whom the last 25 years definitely wouldn't have been what it has been. I've genuinely had an incredible time. I've done things I never would have dreamed of, and while a lot of you will think, well, I did them on my own, I didn't do them on my own. I did them because I had friends who supported me, took the mickey out of me, whatever, but provided an atmosphere and a world where it was possible to do these kind of things, whether it was build a car to drive to Africa for 100 quid, or it was to decide to fulfill a childhood dream and enter Rally GB in a car I built myself. Obviously, none of you have been any practical help whatsoever with even the simplest of tasks. You know who I'm talking about. It's staggering to me that you've managed to negotiate the world and be as successful as you all are, because you're all much more successful than I am, but somehow you've managed it. I don't know how you pulled it off. If I had a hat, I would take it off to you. We've had some amazing times together. We've been on brilliant holidays. We've had fantastic nights out, and I happen to have gone out with legends. Imagine how lucky I am to have done that. I mean, what are the chances? And looking back on the photos that I had, there were just so many of things that I'd forgotten that we'd done. It was just wonderful. Next, my children, which 15 years ago would have been a strange thing for me to say, particularly because obviously you're older than 15, but you are my children. I want to thank all four of you for the privilege of allowing me to be your parental unit, and ultimately for all of you to call me your dad. That's been just incredible for me, and I can't adequately express the joy that I feel as I've seen you grow up. All four of you have faced different kinds of adversity. All four of you have overcome it with grace and with your personalities, all of which are very individual, intact, and with a sense of humour and a resilience, which I hope I had a tiny little bit to do with instilling in you, but I can't take credit for it. You've done it all yourselves. I hope in the spirit of that you realise that you will get through this time as well with the support of the people around you, with the strong relationships you've got with your partners, with your friends, and with your family. You will get through this. I know it's hard now, but I'm sure you will, and you will show the world again what great people you are. And of course, last but not least, I want to talk about Dave Lee Travis. Sorry, no, I want to talk about Tammy. Tammy saw something in me which I didn't really know was there, and through her kindness and care and joy and love and just unbounding positivity, she uncovered who I am today. She didn't change me. She just slowly allowed me to come out of my shell and be who I am in terms of being able to love somebody. I didn't really know what love was until I met her, and now I do know. I profoundly know it, and it's been a wonderful thing to share. She is an incredible person, and I can't believe my luck that somehow on a free dating site that I was on, imagine the cheapskatery, there's a theme here, isn't there? Somebody who on paper didn't match with me at all messaged me, and instantly there was a connection. There was a connection between us in terms of our communication. When we met, there was a connection in terms of I fancied her. It's as simple as that. And it just went on from there. And she got past the difficult things, such as me going to Barcelona and choosing a picture menu restaurant. That is the mark of a great woman, if ever there was one. And we've grown as a couple together. Looking through the photos that we've taken, it's quite funny because my photos before I met Tammy were basically of buildings and of objects and stuff that I'd made. No people in them, literally no people. And then there's hundreds of pictures of me and her together enjoying ourselves. We've just remembered places. I've got a terrible memory, but we just go, oh yeah, remember when we did this, remember when we did that? And you'd see these photos. They are just joyful memories that I've been reliving while going through this, because it's just been, I feel so fortunate not only to have met her, but to have met her at the right time, because if we'd met when we were younger, we would have been different people. We met at the right time, we grew together at the right time. We're a fantastically strong couple, and through all of this, she has supported me just incredibly. When I was in Southampton Hospital, no one else's wife turned up every day, and they definitely didn't turn up with soup so we could eat together. Nobody did that. I say our relationship has been incredible. It's grown stronger over time. It's even stronger now, which is a true joy and a comfort to me. She's taught me the language of love, and fortunately it's a second language I can actually speak, because anyone who's heard me speak French and then seen the blank expression on somebody's face on holiday will know languages are not my thing. While we're on the subject of Tammy, she is the strongest person I know. She's also sometimes one of the most willful people I know as well. She knows her own mind. She doesn't want to have two people do a job if one person can do it, etc. She is incredibly strong, but I know there will be times through now when she will need your help, because I won't be there. Because I won't be there for her. So, as well as the t-shirts that don't fit, I have to ask you occasionally to look in on her. Don't smother her, she doesn't need that. But, you know, I don't know, maybe take the bins out on the right day. Unblock the drain's going to block, trust me. Just check up on her occasionally, and sometimes take her out dancing, because one of the most joyous things I've ever seen is watching Tammy dance. She exudes joy. I've had the privilege to watch it a number of times in Ibiza, particularly when we first went, when we were in Pacha, but also when we were on the cruise, on a honeymoon, and on the last cruise we took. And it's a joy to behold. And she had a fan club upstairs on the Virgin Voyages, I can tell you that. I had to fight a woman for her attention. It was amazing. But she will need looking after just occasionally. So I know I can trust all of you to just look in on her occasionally and reflect on what great friends you've all been, because you have all been great friends. I don't want to end this negatively, which is probably contrary to my personality, but Weirdly, not contrary to my reputation, which is an interesting thing. But the one positive that I can take out of this is the fact that I've had time to tell the people who I love how much they mean to me. If I've missed anybody out, really sorry about that. Admin's been terrible, sorry. But I've been able to tell my friends how much I love them. And this is part of this. But also that people have told me that I made a difference to them, because that to me is important. That, you know, I've helped you here and there, or, you know, you thought I was funny once, or something like that. You know, I've had some people I don't know, or people a guy I hadn't taught. I taught 16 years ago had saved an email from when I was kind to him when he had a medical problem, and it's been really, really comforting to know that maybe, just maybe, I pushed the needle in the right direction just by a bit. So the one thing I would like you to do, if there's somebody, whether they're in the room with you now or they're in your contacts or whatever, and you feel you've left something unsaid, get it said, because you never know. I've been lucky. I've not been hit by a bus. I haven't had a quarter of a second to go, ah! Yeah? You don't know when it's coming. I didn't see this coming, you know, and I'm supposed to be clever. But get it done, because you can't do it afterwards. The second thing I'd like to say is, despite all of this, is the world is an incredible place. As far as we know, we only get one chance at this. And I think it's important to live a little fearlessly, which is something I've definitely learned from my friends and from Tammy, to give things a go. You know, cut a massive hole in the roof of your house in the middle of the winter, that kind of thing. But even if it's the little things, it's going up and talking to somebody and just saying, hey, how's it going? Or giving somebody a hug, being nice to somebody. Approaching the world with curiosity and kindness and care, and say, not in a gullible way, but just being open to new experiences, because I'm damn sure if I hadn't had the friends that I've had for the last 25 years, and I haven't had the amazing partner that I've had for the last 15 years, that I wouldn't have had the richness of experience that I know I had. And I've looked back on my life and I have no regrets, because I did all sorts of things. Not everything paid off. Not everything does pay off, but ultimately it does pay off, because you experience it and the world becomes a bigger place, and the world is a better place if you're not scared of it all the time. And so with those nuggets of wisdom dispensed, it's time for me to sign off. I love you all. Not like that. Laters.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Well done.
You did record, right?